In this video, I want to show you how to do Estonian gathered stitches. And I have a couple of different versions of that stitch on this chart that I'm showing you in the video. And you can't really see them very well. So I decided in my pattern to color code them. So in addition to having the symbol, which has little teeny numbers in it, that's the part you can't see very well, I added a color. And so all of these Estonian gathered stitches that are worked through the back loop, which is what I'm doing in my pattern here, they look like this, but then they have numbers that tell you how many stitches to start and end with. So I have one that's got 3 into 3, and I've worked that as a green or bluish green stitch in this chart, and then I've got another one that's worked 7 into 9, and I used yellow for that on this chart. And I want to tell you something, when you're working on stuff yourself and you have a chart that maybe not color coded, it's really good to color code stitches with a highlighter for things that you think you might have a hard time with. So this is a really unusual stitch in both these cases for me, because I don't knit Estonian stitches all the time. So I would want to highlight those on my own chart, so I know when I get up to them, I don't mess up. For some of you, there might be other stitches that give you problem, like maybe this double decrease. Maybe you're not familiar with that symbol, and so you could highlight that in your chart to remind you to pay extra attention when you come to it. But specifically in this video, I'm going to show you how to do these Estonian gathered stitches. So first we're going to do this one where you do 3 into 3, and it's really easy, believe it or not. So what it is 3 into 3 gathered through the back loop. So we're going to take the next 3 stitches and we're going to put our right needle into the 3 of those together through the back loop. So again, just stick that needle through the 3 of those together through the back loop. So that's the first 3. That's the 3 that's on the bottom. Now I'm going to make 3 new stitches here. So first I'm just going to knit up a stitch. Then I'm going to do a yarn over. And then I'm going to knit a 3rd stitch up through those same through loops, and then I drop them off the left needle. See, I've got 3 new stitches here. So I'm going to go across here to another plain section on my sample, and I'm going to show you that again, and this time I'll hold the yarn in my right hand. So let's look at how to do it with our right hand. So I'm going to put the right needle through those 3 stitches the same, and I'm going to pull up a new loop. That's my first new stitch. Remember, don't drop those off. Then I'm going to make a yarn over. So that is, I bring the yarn to the front between the needles, and then it goes over the top. See how that's going to make an extra loop there? And now I'm going to put my right needle back into those 3 stitches again, and then knit up another stitch. So I've got 3 new loops here. First knit, yarn over, second knit, and then I drop those off the left needle, and then I continue on my row. So hold on a second and I will show you how to do that with 7 stitches. Now let's take a look how to do that Estonian gathered stitch 7 to 9. So we're going to start with 7 stitches and end through 9. And again, we're going to be working through the back loop because that's what I defined in my legend, and that's the kind of symbol that's used in Estonian patterns for through the back loop on these gathered stitches. So what I have to do is count off 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7 stitches that I need, and I always just count them off first so I can kind of separate them. And now I'm going to have to go into the back loop of all 7 of those stitches. You may find that you want to use a smaller needle or a different kind of needle to do this. Maybe your needle that you're working with isn't slippery enough, or it's too slippery. So you can work this with a 3rd needle if you need to. I'm going to try to do it with my regular needle here. And what happens sometimes is when I try to pull my stitch through, so here you see I'm just wrapping it like a knit, and I'm going to try to pull it through, and sometimes, whoops, I don't make it on the first time. And that's okay. I mean, it's frustrating, but it's okay. The more times you have to stick your right needle into all those stitches, the more they get stretched, and eventually it will be loose enough that your stitch comes through. See, so I got my first stitch, so that's 1, then a yarn over, that's 2, yeah, then I have to go back into them again, pull up another one, that'll be 3, and then yarn over 4, oh goodness gracious, 5. I really wouldn't say goodness gracious and real late. I'd say something worse. See, I split my yarn a little, but I'm just going to try to fix it. I'm not going to let that go. Now I've lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. Oh my goodness, I'm supposed to get up to 9 here. Just keep going. 7, 8, 9. I don't think I can get that needle in there one more time, so I'm just going to try to get that last loop with the crochet hook. So I'm going to set this here, pull it back from the tip so it doesn't fall off, and I'm going to go into it with the crochet hook if I can. Now on my actual project that I'm making with this is smaller yarn, smaller needles. I didn't get stuck like this, but sometimes when I do these stitches I do get stuck, and a crochet hook's a handy tool to help you finish it up. So I pull that last loop through all those. Oh, got it. That's my 9th loop. I'm going to put it on my right needle and drop those 7. And I am not going to do this over showing you with the right hand, but I showed you the 3 into 3, and you can see that the basic concept is the same. It's just a lot fussier when you have to do 7 into 9. Fortunately, in this particular pattern, there's only a couple of those in the whole motif, so it's not as arduous as it could be, but it's really worth it when you see how it comes out. I think you'll agree with me.